City Council on the 7th of July, starting at 6:01 p.m. We're going to call this to order, the meeting to order. We'll start off with roll call. We have Audrey, Councilmember Audrey Barton. We have Rob Taylor, Councilman Rob Taylor, Councilman Lance Wadman, and Councilman Emma Wilson.
She's online.
She's online. We are working through some technical issues, but I think we're good to go. Rob Taylor, Councilmember Taylor is going to give us a moment of reflection, and then Councilman Barton will give us the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh God, our Father in heaven, we come here tonight in this city council meeting for the great city of Saratoga Springs, and we ask for thy blessing upon us that those who are out fighting the wildfires throughout the state, that they will be safe, that these fires may get under control, and if thou would send some precipitation our way, we would be most grateful. We're grateful for those who serve in public safety, those who serve within the city, and all the volunteers. We're grateful for their service. We're thankful for this wonderful city that we live in, and we pray that thy Spirit will be with us as we make decisions and discuss the needs of the city. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
Amen.
Please rise and repeat the pledge with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay. We're moving into public input. Time has been set aside for the public to express ideas, concerns, and comments for subject matters not listed in the public hearing on the agenda. Time for public input is limited no more than 15 minutes. Total, please limit individual comments to 3 minutes. Time may not be given to another commenter. Please be respectful in your comments. Please avoid repetitive comments. If you are here for a public hearing, please hold your comments until that item. Is anyone here for public input? Recognize the gentleman. If you come to the podium. And please state your name and your address.
My name is Tal Adair. I'm represent a property owner at 1536 North, 400 East. I know you don't usually talk back and forth, so it was suggested to me, I took this property to the planning department and we looked at it, but they said, hey, we don't really know what the council's feelings on this are as far as what you can build or what kind of zoning, instead of going through the process and know what the council would like to work at or have that area zoned at, or if we could upzone it or anything like that. So it was suggested to me to come to the council, and I believe I brought a packet, it should be all before you, that says this is what it's currently zoned, this is what we'd kind of like to put a high density zoning there. It's like properties that are around it. It's next to commercial and maybe do townhomes or something of that sort. We also know that we may have to mitigate the river, and we're more than happy to do that so that it doesn't keep eating away at the bank of that sort. So I don't know what's the appropriate process.
So by the way, we do appreciate you coming. You're very well prepared. I think we're gonna ask Mark, who should we direct to do this, or we'll direct the staff to
Since,
contact,
there's
reach out
not
to
really
you.
back and forth during the
Right,
public
right,
comments,
right.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we'll just direct staff to reach out to you and take it from there. Is that?
So just, I just quickly pulled up the zoning. The current zoning is an ag use, but the general plan indicates that it would be, all of that would be commercial. And so this type of a request would be a down zone from commercial to residential. And so, but if that's, that's certainly something that you could hand off and have him discuss it with planning staff.
Well, I'd like to be discussed amongst council first, because I don't think because like you said, like planning doesn't really know. Can we bring this like as a work session, or is like something we talk about in a retreat? Like, is this something we need to talk about? I mean, I feel like this is something that we need to discuss as a council.
Yeah, so, I think your question is legitimate. Could we do something like that? Sure. I think the request is to downzone it from a regional commercial to a high density. His verbiage, not mine. I don't know what density they'd be proposing. But that is, I believe, what the request would be. And I guess the question is the council interested in entertaining that? If you have any feedback for that tonight, or if you'd like, you could, email Sarah and give her an indication. I don't know which direction you'd like. If you do want to do a work session, you can. It's just they don't have a current application in front of the city for
Right,
that.
okay.
I really think that we don't have enough information tonight other than to direct staff and take it under advisement as to what would be required to look at that. It's at a future date.
Yeah.
And
And then
typically,
some discussion amongst councils that if we're
We can
willing
do
to,
that,
if we're, what zoning from commercial to
That would
that.
require
just clarify
a
that that
major
goes through.
zone, that would require a major zoning change for that
it
area.
would be a
Yeah.
rezone
So
down.
we have a process for that, do we not?
Yes, we do.
Then I would suggest we follow that process.
So made.
I just want to make sure real quick that council is asked about this as well. It's not just a decision that staff makes, because I want to make sure that you have our feedback as well. Sarah, so whatever way, or Katie, whatever
Right.
way that
Well-
needs to happen.
The process is the rezone application. That's how they ask you.
Okay, perfect, yeah,
And
That's
that would
great.
come to you in a normal council work
Yeah.
session, not a workshop.
Okay.
but Standard public hearing type
Perfect.
of thing.
yeah. Hopefully that's helpful.
Thank you.
Clear things. And by the way, thank you for the, not that I want everybody to bring one, but it was very well prepared. Appreciate it.
And my contacts and information there for staff to get ahold of.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any other public comment? Okay, we'll move on to consent items. Do I have any?
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, how's that sound?
Yeah,
You don't like
as
that?
long as it's temporary, I'm okay
Well,
with it.
that's the Tim part, right? What I'd like to do is pull out of the consent items, the update amendment to City Code Title III and the Planning Commission bylaws, and
Which night?
2 and 3,
2 and 3,
please.
okay.
And that's it.
Would you like to discuss those as under business items and remove them from the consent calendar? Or would you prefer to
That
table
would
them?
probably be the best.
Or should we
What do you
table them
think?
for the rest?
I would table
No,
them for the.
I don't want to table them, but if you guys want to vote on it, I think that we can discuss it. It's a
Well,
very easy-
are you just want them to remove them from consent items and put them under business items? Is that what you're
I
asking?
think so, because I want to talk about.
Oh, sure.
The amendment.
Oh, great, yes.
Because it's going through as a proposed amendment,
Yeah.
I just want to talk about the amendment, rather than just approving it under consent.
Yep, yep,
So
great.
do we make a motion to move it from consent to business items?
You could just take a motion to approve consent items 1 and 4.
Okay.
And then discuss 2 and 3 under business items.
Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve consent items number 1 and number 4 as stated on the agenda.
Second,
Okay, so made. What's the verbiage? Okay, we need to take a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Emma's
And a
got her
thumbs up
thumbs
from
up.
Emma.
Thumbs up. Is that official? I think so. Okay. Do we move to public hearing? Item number 1.
So it's-
Amendment to fiscal year 26 interim budget.
Evening, council and mayor pro tem, I guess.
I love that.
I'm still councilman.
This is the first budget amendment for this fiscal year. It's 3 different capital projects. The first one is a roads capital project. The project's already been working on. This is basically to help us finish out the funding for that project. Just as we get into the project, sometimes the pricing changes than what we were initially anticipating. The other 2 projects are both for secondary water capital projects, and that's just to get the ground rolling. If you have any further questions about those, Jeremy will probably be able to answer more.
Any questions? Okay, do I have a motion?
You need to do a public hearing. So there's the public hearing
Public
language that
hearing,
you'd want to
you
read
gave me a
and
specific-
invite people to come
Okay.
forward if they so chose.
I'll open a public hearing for public hearing item number 1, amendment to fiscal year 27 interim budget resolution R 2647 dated today. Please be respectful in your comments. Please limit comments to 3 minutes. Time may not be given to another commenter. Please avoid repetitive comments. Is anyone in here for public hearing number 1? Okay. Seeing none, I will close the public hearing. And we'll
Did
move-
we miss reports?
Did I miss reports? Okay, going back to reports.
Actually, would you like to take a motion on the public hearing and then go back to reports?
Okay, let's make a motion on the public hearing.
Is that a motion from Emma?
Just a vote.
Emma's making a,
You should use ASL. Somebody will understand.
Emma is making a, Emma, if you're good with that, is making a motion.
I think probably one of you that has
I
a
will
voice
move
probably should
that
do
we
it.
approve public hearing number 1, amendment to the fiscal year 2026-27 interim budget, resolution R2642 dated today.
Second?
So I guess we gotta have a vote from Councilmember Barton,
Yes.
Councilmember Taylor,
Yes.
Councilmember Wilson, Councilmember Wadman, yes. So made. Okay, going back to reports, do I have any reports from council members or anybody that wants to give a public report?
I wanted to talk real quick. I actually had the opportunity to, these are so loud tonight.
Yeah, I love it. I can sit here.
It's so loud, I don't like hearing my voice. Anyway, I had the opportunity to have a tour of the Beehive Academy. It's the charter school that would like to come into Saratoga Springs. And so what an amazing opportunity that was. I was so excited to be invited to do that. I got to see some summer camps that they had in motion that were going on. I got to tour the entire school. It's a STEM school. I'm sure some of you may have known. They came to us before. And anyway, such an asset to this community if they can end up making it here. It was just seeing everything they do STEM-wise and everything they offer for our students. I'm real big on school choice. I am a public school teacher, a past public school teacher, so I support public education, of course, but I also think school choice is important. So to be able to take a tour of the school and to have some of those options out here would be really great. So I just wanted to give a heads up that I was able to tour that Beehive Academy, and amazing school that, again, if they try, I hope that we can think about it as a council and as a city, and hopefully we can get something like that out here. So.
I wanted to say thanks to staff for the celebration every Monday, but last Monday in particular, that was amazing. I think it just goes along with the whole month of June, starting at Splash Days all the way up until last week when we celebrated 250 years. I want to take a moment to hopefully we all recognize the blessing we have of not only living in the United States of America, but also in this great city of Saratoga Springs in Utah. Thanks for all those people that put on a great celebration. We got to do cake, and that was fun, interacting with the citizens and stuff like that. So hopefully we all recognize the blessings we have and where we live. So appreciate that. Anything else? Any other reports or?
I just wanted to point out that I am having a conflict with the Jordan River, not a conflict with them, but a scheduling conflict with the Jordan River Commission and Watershed Council. They typically are having their meetings on Thursdays, and I have a fixed appointments on those Thursdays that overlap, and I'm unable to attend those meetings. So I think, Katie, are you the alternate on those? I don't recall.
In the past, we had Gina attend both because Stephen couldn't go either. Sorry, Councilmember Wilden couldn't go either in person. So we had a planning member attend the technical advisory meeting and the legislative meetings.
I'm having a hard time hearing you. Can you get closer?
We had a planner go before on behalf of the council. If you'd
Okay.
like us to do that, we can do
Yeah,
that.
just looking, and I've talked to the chair, or the SORM, about that, and there's just this going to be an ongoing conflict because it's better for them on Thursdays that I may not be able to attend any of those meetings in the future. Just
If you'd
wanted
like
to
a planner to go, or if you'd like to designate a different council member, however you choose to do it.
Okay, we'll
We'll figure it
go
out.
with staff for now.
I believe David Jellin is identified as
Yes.
that contact, so we'll send David in your place.
Okay, great, thank you. Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I had a question concerning the staff reports that I wanted to look at real quick. I know that, we've got a pretty short agenda, but I had some specific questions on recreation programming. Is there anyone that could speak to that tonight?
I can probably tackle some of it.
You take a crack at it?
Depends on what it is.
It really has to do with the adult spring softball. It shows that these 37 teams, not individuals, that we are on a wait list. How many individuals does that mean? Do you know how many are generally on a
9
team?
per team, 12?
9 or 10, probably.
Because I'm seeing a pretty big wait list, like this youth tennis lessons, but still taking a lot of, it's still open for registration. And then youth baseball, there are 80, I think that's 80 individual kids that are on wait listed, either because they enrolled late or we just don't have room for them, enough baseball diamonds. Is that correct?
Yes, typically it's either they were after the deadline.
I don't know why yours isn't as loud as ours is.
Yeah, ours
up
is so
here.
loud,
Yeah.
but your guys' is not, yeah.
I can fix that for you. Give me just 1 second.
If you fix it,
Oh, is that what those little lines are to the right and left?
No. How about,
I do not know.
how about testing? How about that? Is that better?
I'll try to listen
That's
real hard.
as
you
loud
know.
as this one can go.
You know,
so.
us poor old guys that wear hearing aids.
Okay. Basically, if they sign up past the deadline, they would go on a wait list. Also, we give priority to Saratoga Springs residents as well. I don't know if that includes those waitlisted that may be out of our community. Also, for the teams, a lot of it is field space. So often they have to limit it based on field space, especially for the adult leagues and the time that we can dedicate for each of our different programs. So all of those factors play into it, council member. So great questions. We can get more detailed information from our recreation department if you'd like to follow up and go from there.
Yeah, as we go to additional planning in the future, I think that's interesting because you look at the library usage, it's just exploded, and that's a great thing. And then some of these programs for sports look like they're exploding, and we just don't have enough facilities to be able to help people out. So I think it's something that we should definitely keep front of mind as we go into future years of planning for recreation within the city.
If it's okay, we'll have Heston send an email to the entire council,
Yeah.
trying to address the concerns from the recording tonight.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other reports? Okay, we'll move on to business items. I think we were gonna amend this with 2 items from the consent, items 2 and 3. Do we have to make a motion on that, or just move them down and,
Yeah,
Okay.
they're down.
okay? Okay, so let's move those items, consent items 2 and 3, down to business items.
Do you want to just start with those?
Yeah, let's start with them and just make those 1 and 2. Do they get referenced numerically? Okay. Let's go down to what was consent item 2, which will now be the first item in business items. Amendments to City Code Title 3, Administration Code.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, the only thing I wanted to discuss had to do with the Planning Commission. Under SB 284, it required us to adopt some provisions for how do we remove, and for what reasons would we remove a planning commissioner from the Planning Commission, which of course, I think what's been added here is fine. I have no problems with it. It's the recusal section of 3.04-05, specifically number 3. And in number 3, it says the commissioner they could recuse themselves if the commissioner has prejudged the matter to such an extent that the commissioner cannot fairly consider the evidence and testimony presented. The problem is that fairness, in my mind, is a subjective feeling. Proving what's inside somebody's head is nearly impossible. If a commissioner has a massive conflict but generally feels they are being fair, our rule really can't touch them because in their mind, they're being fair, but they may have been prejudged that. But changing the language to, and I handed you what I would like to see changed, that the commissioner has formed a fixed opinion prior to the meeting that is not susceptible to change, preventing an impartial evaluation of the evidence and testimony presented. I think that this measurable, it creates we move from subjective to a measurable, more of a measurable standard. And a measurable standard in this case replaces the improvable internal feeling that I can be subjective, or I can be objective in all facts, when in fact they've already made up their mind. So it could be provable through external behavior, say a pre-meeting, emails, text message, or even public social media posts showing the commissioner explicitly stating that they will vote a certain way regardless of the facts. This changes the conversation from a guessing game as to whether the commissioner is being fair in their own head to more of a factual review of whether their mind was completely locked before the public hearing even began. If you look at 6, it uses a standard where, a reasonable person knowing all the relevant facts would question the commissioner's ability. This kind of moves it from this internal feeling that's more subjective to a more of a subjective measurement, because we've got evidence that they are prejudged this, if you will, made an opinion, and they're not going to change their mind regardless of the facts that are presented. I really think there's 3 good reasons. It's going to protect this. I believe it'll protect the city from lawsuits when the Planning Commission can review site plans or subdivisions. They're really acting like judges, not legislators. This is a legislative body. Applicants have a right to an impartial hearing. If a commissioner goes on social media before a meeting and says, "I will never vote for this project no matter what," their mind is legally locked, I think. Or definitely, I don't know if that meets a legal standard, but they're locked. I think this updated wording gives us more of a concrete standard to disqualify the vote. I think it also protects our planning commissioners. I really believe we want planning commissioners who have strong philosophies about Saratoga Springs and how we should grow and what that should look like. But telling them that they cannot prejudge may make them feel more like they must be a completely blank slate on every local issue, which is just not the case.
And not listen to media and stuff.
Yeah, they're gonna have some opinions based on information to that point, but once they get into a meeting, they have to be able to be objective and look at all the evidence and then apply that to the standards. So the standards shouldn't be whether they have thoughts on an issue, but whether their mind is completely closed, that, say, expert staff, engineering, staff analysis, and public input could sway them. And then thirdly, it really ties directly to the power of removal under SB 284, where we are required to outline the causes for removing a member who exhibits actual impermissible bias. If the commissioner refuses to step down because they subjectively feel they are being fair, I think we're kind of stuck. This change gives the city council a clear and non-arbitrary benchmark to enforce removal of the members' if their self-monitoring fails, or not use their vote, especially if it's at the margin whether something would pass or not. I just kind of believe that the original wording of the draft is somewhat vague, as somewhat of a vague ethical suggestion, and the new wording seems to be more of an enforceable tool. Of course, I will defer to our city attorney and his feelings on this, but I wanted to bring that up as a potential amendment to that item number, or recusal item 3 reason, which would also affect number 4 for the bylaws for the Planning Commission.
Yeah, I've reviewed that language. I think it's acceptable legally.
Okay, so I would move, unless there's,
I was gonna say, is there any discussion on it?
Are we to discussion, right? I appreciate you bringing this up. I think it's something that I might not have caught, and so I appreciate your thorough review of this, and then bringing back a solution for something different and better, in my opinion.
I echo that. I mean, I read through this, and I'm very impressed with, because I appreciate you bringing this too, because the thoroughness, so appreciate it.
thank you, but it's just one of those things that when I first read it, it got me going down a rabbit hole. And as I went through it, I thought, well, maybe we could do this and in a different manner, and if our city attorney is good with it, I'd like to propose that we approve this with the amendment for item 3 on, we're just gonna take